What's up, Instagram and YouTube? It's your boy Salty Redcorn, and I am back with an ill-prepared knife review video. Today I want to talk about Spyderco para3, but I don't necessarily want to talk about the para3 itself. The knife has been reviewed by tons of people. I don't think I've reviewed it yet, but maybe, who knows. What I want to talk about with the para3 is the skinny mod, right? So here I have my wife's standard para3. This is bronze S30V and titanium clip, right? So if you can see, this knife has a pretty good belly right here, right? Kind of mimics the design of the para2. And for most people, that's going to be pretty good. And even for me, it's not 100% horrible, but I'm like, you know, I like the idea of having a little bit more compact knife, but my hands are huge, so the hump doesn't really fall in line with where I'm supposed to be, or at least where I'm comfortable, right? Can I still use it? Yeah. Is it a problem? Not really, but there's a fix, okay? So this is my Maximate para3 that I've done the skinny mod to, right? And if you're picking up on what I'm putting down already, you can see what I've done, right? So let's put the two right next to each other. You can see the belly's gone. It's like it went on a diet. All right, and so for me, now my hands fall perfectly in this neutral handle. And this knife now becomes something that I really like to use. It becomes something that I could possibly use in a pinch, or if I didn't have my para2, to something that now I can carry and feel confident with, and grip in hand. I'm not slipping. I got a firm grip, and I really, really like that. So I'll talk a little bit about what's involved. All right, so the liners on the para3 don't extend into that hump. On the paramilitary 2, they do extend into that hump. So grinding the liners would be a little bit more difficult, or grinding the scales would be more difficult, because in that case you'd have to grind the liners. But with the para3, it's like they almost designed it to be this way, because the liners come very close in line to the shape that I've used right here, right? I've also taken a little bit off the back end. See if I can show that. The pommel area, which I know isn't necessarily correct on a pocket knife, but the back of the knife, as you can see, there's a nub here that forms and fits good with the original handle, but on this one, I smoothed it right over, and that allows me to have a really nice grip here. This thing's not extending from my hand, from the back of my hand rather. My pinky isn't hung up on that. My pinky falls right onto this smooth area, and it feels good. It allows me to really lock up in this, you know, forward choil grip. So with the other one, I didn't feel as comfortable locked up like this. Now 100% locked up. This has really, really been an awesome mod for me, and it's changed my perspective of the para3. So my hands are pretty big. I think probably double XL glove if I had to. So, you know, for me, this takes a knife that is made for smaller hands, in my opinion, to something that I can use comfortably. And I love that, because I don't always need to have a full-size blade, but I like to carry a real knife all the time, right? I find it very, very useful for all the stuff I do, whether it's cutting food or doing work or whatever. I always carry a backup knife as well. It just comes in handy for me. So if you were interested in buying a para3, but you have big hands, and you maybe even if you have small hands, I don't have anything to compare that with. My wife likes the way that that one feels in her hand, and she doesn't like the way that this one feels in her hand, the skinny mod. So as for my perspective, I don't have that. But if you got big hands, and if you grind your skinny, make your skinny thing happen. Forgot how to talk all of a sudden, but you make your skinny thing happen, and then this thing is going to fit really, really good in your hands, right? No sweat. The lynch clip on this one is very cool. It's got an offset too. I bought this knife secondhand, so that's how it came with this lynch clip, and it's different from some of the others I have. I really, really like how it's offset so you can keep the lanyard. Some of my knives I use lanyard, some of them I don't. This one I particularly don't feel that I need to. I also want to point out real quick, for some of you watching that follow along with me, I did this mod on my M390 para3 as well. That was the first one I did, and I didn't chamfer the edges. And for me, it didn't make a difference. Part of me liked the rough edge and how I could really lock up on it. It gave me just a little bit more security, and that hard edge gave something to dig into my finger a little bit better without hurting, but give me some secureness. And so a friend of mine is asking me to do this to his knife, and he was asking about chamfering the edge, of course. So I chamfered the edge on this. I don't know how well it's going to show up. I just followed the factory chamfer with a small rasp file, whatever you want to call it. And I just knocked it down to the factory edge, which is like very, very light chamfering. Could you chamfer this more? Of course you could chamfer this more. But for me, it works really good the way it is now, and I really, really like it. So if you guys are worried about it, go buy yourself a para3 and grind the scales down. Find a friend who can, all right? If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to your boy Salty Red Corn, smash the like button. I got to learn how to talk for real, for real. And just let me know in the comments what I could do better. Salty Red Corn, learn how to talk. Salty Red Corn, tell better jokes, bro, you're corny. Whatever you want to tell me, I can take it, all right? Peace.